What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Dubkast. It is July 11th. Hope you all had a terrific 4th of July weekend. We are coming back at you with another episode with me, Trent, otherwise known as Dirty Assault, and co-host Jeremy.
What's up, guys? It's it is Toxic Jedi, that gearhead, whatever I choose that day.
That's right. We are coming back with episode 10. That is right. 10 episodes already. It seems like it's flown by so fast. We are happy to do it, and we are happy to be back. Jeremy, I don't know what you've had going on recently, but it's been a good week of discovery and announcements and updates that I can't wait to get into. But man, it's been a minute since we've talked. So how's everything been going?
It's been going good, man. Just, normal adulting life. I
I
have
hear
gotten
you.
a chance to sneak in a few games, though.
Yeah, it's been crazy, the holidays were exciting. I have a newborn, as you know. She just hit 5 months today, actually, and it was her first 4th of July, so it was crazy to see just the excitement in her eyes as these fireworks and stuff are popping off. And then today we took a trip to the zoo, so just taking the time to enjoy the weekend, and but definitely took the time to get into some games. So I'm excited to kind of talk about some of this stuff that I've been kind of seeing floating around. Like recently I've been scrolling through TikTok, and you would not you would be surprised how much information is on there for you, readily available. You find out about new games that indie developers are coming out with. You find out about updates that people are playing for different games. It just seems like the amount of information is endless. And so I was actually scrolling through there, and I don't know if you've heard about this game. I don't know if you listeners have heard about this game, but this game Hypercharged Unboxed. I seen this, I'm scrolling through. It's been out for a year. I check it out on Steam, and Steam it's got a very positive response, and people have been playing it, and I finally was able to kind of go and check out what it was all about. Some of the videos that I seen on TikTok, just man, the nostalgia that came from games like this one. I don't know how far back you have to pick into your brain, but man, I can remember being a kid sitting on the floor, PlayStation 1 controller in my hand, and I used to play these games like man, what was it? Army toy. It was like these you have to you play as like those little green soldiers, right?
Hmm.
And for the life of me, can't even remember the exact name of that game, but I want to say it was like Army something or other, but either way, I'm gonna butcher it. But and then other games like Toy Soldiers. You ever see the movie Toy Soldiers?
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal movie. It doesn't get better than the soundtracks. War, dun dun, yeah. Just so I'm I'm watching this game, and it's just all those vibes all over again. And matter of fact, I got a video. We're gonna be jumping straight into content that I've been excited to show you, but you know, if you guys haven't checked it out yet and you're just listening, hop on over to YouTube, follow us on Dubcast Gaming. It's our YouTube channel, and you can see some of the videos of what we're talking about whenever we show actual footage of whether it be games or us, if you want to see our ugly mugs. So, but just to kind of kickstart this thing, man, I just kind of want to show you this video real quick of me playing Hypercharge. I briefly am just going to kind of talk about it as it goes on, and let it kind of play in the background for viewers to watch. But before I pull this up, it is basically a game where you are, in fact, a little toy. And, you know, they got like PvP, you got all sorts of stuff that you can do in this game that just seems so addictive for the right kind of audience. So if you're somebody out there that is looking for a new game to check out, this is going to be me diving into this game. So let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. All right, so here we are. We got the Hypercharge demo. This is exactly where I start the demo. Okay, so here it is. This is exactly when I start to. I kind of chopped it up a bit, edited it up so you guys could kind of see it through a faster lens. So basically, I start off. I'm in this this toy box, right? And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Boom. I land on the ground immediately. I'm kind of just checking stuff out. It's kind of teaching me how to play the game here. And just really the basics. So you can collect money and you can get coins. These are
Oh, jeez.
ah! Ah! these little dummies that allow me to, you know, freely shoot without any fear. And that's basically, this is the tutorial really just showing me. So you got these little terminals. Let me pause it here for a second. So you got these little terminals, and those are the things that you're supposed to defend, right? So the toys will come and try to attack these little things here. And so as you can tell, it's got like a little brain in there. They make it look cool, but your job is to defend that. And they have little things that they use to provide help for you. And so that's what you're going to see here. I'm going to pick this up. What this is it's going to give me something that I can build for defense. So now you're going to see I'm building a wall. They're toys. They're not super smart. They can't jump. So these toys are going to be running frantically towards me, and this will at least help slow them down a little bit. And so what you're going to see is I'm kind of learning how to set these defenses up, what I should kind of prepare for. You got only so many credits, so you want to make sure that you're constantly collecting coins from things you kill. And so what I'm doing here is I'm basically just killing these beginner level robots that are trying to run at me. Nothing too crazy. And I just got this little wall I'm kind of hiding behind. And so I'm just kind of learning the fundamentals of this game. And for one, I mean, I think that this game is beautiful to look at. So much color, you know, very vibrant, and pretty simple mechanics, you know, point and shoot. Well, now this is a little bit further on. I've killed all those guys. Now I unlock a turret. I walk over here and you get parts for your gun. And so I've unlocked a different kind of gun. I unlock a stock for it. And so I'm just unloading. As you can tell, this gun operates a little bit differently. It shoots a little bit quicker. And I have a little bit more stabilization. And so I go ahead, I complete the tutorial, and I'm only allowed one mission, and that is Fort Jeep. And so I'm kind of checking out Fort Jeep. And Fort Jeep is basically a garage in this house. And so I'm jumping. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hop on this Jeep here. And you can tell you got a green, there's a red, and a blue little hyperdrive tower there. And your goal is to defend those from the invading enemies. And so I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, I don't really know what to do. And actually, what's funny is at this point, I realize that you have a building phase at the very beginning of a match. And that's where you run around, you use what tokens you get at the very beginning to go and set up sort of defense. Dude, I immediately put my arm down and I don't do any of that. And so it's like deep, 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 beep. And so now everything is just about to start coming in. And so, you see me, I'm kind of walking around and just checking it out. Give you a little bit of volume as we kind of move through here so you can hear as I react.
Oh, that's cool.
And so, yeah, you got these little toy soldiers that are coming in. I'm like, oh, what is that? I go down, boom, get some stuff to build a defense. This dude's over here trying to just rock'em sock'em the hell out of this tower, and I'm like, no, dude, you ain't doing that. And as you can tell, they also are going to be dropping coins for you so that you're not constantly running out of money. Look at this guy here.
I like how they just waddle around.
Yeah, and so another kind of cool aspect of this game is there's like these little jumper pads. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of maneuver around and kind and basically, like, if you had multiple people playing with you, and I could see if it were like a PvP style match, you definitely got multiple different ways that you can kind of set up like a fortifying position, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to town on these guys.
Looks really clean, honestly. Like for an indie game, it looks really good. The whole universe of it makes complete sense.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, man, it's only a $20 game. And when I look at this game, I do think to myself, okay, this is probably a $20 game. Not because it just seems like one of those games that it's a great pastime. Hop in with your friends for an hour or so and just kind of grind out and unlock some stuff. But for the most part, the thing I love is that they've already come out with so many. It's been out for a year, so they've already come out with so many different DLCs for this game.
Yeah.
And so you can pay a little bit extra money and get those as well.
I'm just watching you just
You
go
hear
and
them?
punch
Ow! When you hit those little robots, they scream. It's kind of funny. But basically, the round has ended. I'm back at a building phase, and now I'm like, okay, I got to actually fortify this time. And so I'm throwing down little barricades to help slow them down. I don't have enough money to build these turrets, so I'm basically going to different towers, checking out various little things, and you can actually cycle through. So I'm like, oh, grass. What better to defend than laying down some grass? Then I find a water bomb. So many different things. Now, one thing you didn't get to see is there are these batteries you can pick up and you can put them in the nodes, and that helps keep them charged. So you'll notice that even though the health is low on that top left here, on the top left, you see how you can see the red, green, and blue.
Yeah.
That little blue bar recharged it. And so I'm on wave 2 out of 5, but I know that I need to kind of pay extra attention here to this little blue tower. But so now I'm skipping ahead. Check this out. You can actually build little towers and other things of that sort to help you. You'll see why that's important here in a second. So I build this. You'll see I even notice in game, I'm like, oh, I can use that to kind of climb up on. So this is round 2 out of 5, and now I'm getting attacked by bouncy balls.
What?
You gotta love it. So I'm thinking to myself, how are these things gonna do anything? Look at them over there. Yeah, take that. I will say the soundtrack on this game was amazing. You didn't really get to hear it much in the tutorial, but it is great.
I'm actually like enjoying how clean this game looks.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it justice, man. Honestly, if you were to go and check out some of these videos, go on TikTok, guys, type in Hypercharge, and look at the creators' videos that they've posted of some of the PvP and games and stuff like that. Look at this. I'm getting attacked by Beyblades in wave 3. So the nostalgia just keeps coming back. I mean, all these cool little toys and stuff like that are just constantly attacking you in all these different waves, adding in multiple different layers of things to expect. Now these guys, they get pieced up by me. I don't play around. But this is when I really have a challenge. You're not going to really see, because I edited out a lot of me getting my butt whooped by this thing. But I cannot, for the life of me, get
Hit the flying
contact.
saucer.
Yeah. It was putting in work on me, to say the least.
Oh, and at this point, you've lost the blue and the red.
Yeah. So this is the last one, and I got to defend it. And so I'm really trying to focus up. People in my chat are making fun of me, but I get the victory. And so this is the next portion. In the tutorial, I was able to unlock some things for the game. So if anybody is intrigued in a game like this, you're looking for a fun little indie game to check out and spend your pastime, this game does appear to be available on all platforms. At least that's what I've been told. I checked it out on Steam, got a lot of good sales that were going on when I looked into it. But one thing that I love about this game is that when I did play that tutorial, I did play the demo, I was able to unlock stuff for my guy. So I want you guys to check this out. This is something that I think is going to really interest a person that at face value sees a cool shooter game, your toys, but what on the customizable level am I going to be intrigued to do? This is what I'm going to show you. So this is me kind of checking out all the stuff I've unlocked. So I was this little lizard guy, reptile, whatever you want to call him. Check that out. Now I'm a triceratops, and you can obviously tell there's a lot more different stuff you can unlock. Look at that. Oh, is that not cooler? Right? So I'm immediately just loving this. So I'm like, what else did I unlock? So I'm checking out some of these guns. I've got all these different guns that I've unlocked that would match kind of the color scheme that my dude is rocking with. And then I kind of head back over and check out some of the other skins as well here in a second.
Oh, dude. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. I'd go with the Wraith.
Oh, dude, just wait for it. So the funny part is in my stream, I'm like, I think, guys, I'm going to go with Primal. I think that's my guy. And then I noticed that there's like this little ninja dude down here and a little wasp, grasshopper looking dude. But check this out.
Oh, that's sick.
You thought that was cool. I changed the half shell. Oh, I mean, like, I'm like, what?
Dang,
throw half
dude.
shell on, get a gun that matches. So
the customization's pretty satisfying.
Yeah. And then Wraith, I didn't really unlock anything for Wraith. I basically just unlocked him. So the more I level up and the more I unlock stuff, clearly there's going to be a lot more to the game. And so now I go into statistics and dioramas, and this is basically where I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the things that you may not have been able to kind of pay attention to in the game, but they put so much into this. Check this out. I'm going through checking out some of the, so you saw me in the tutorial. Let me go back here just a second. We're almost done with this, but you saw me in the tutorial pick up those gun parts. Yeah. So if you look at this here, it's a box that says Elite Grade Series Shock Trooper, right? But those are the guns I used and I picked up. So it shows you that there's more attachments for your guns that you can eventually unlock, or maybe for your character, that you'll be able to add and make your guns better and maybe be more effective on the battlefield. And so I thought that was cool. The fact that they're kind of blacked out and then what I was able to use, I actually can see, really got me excited to check out more of what is on this game. And so I head on over to enemies. Now, some of these enemies are going to be blacked out, but you're going to see the funny guy here, the mean bot that I was able to shoot at in the very beginning, and then we went to the Beyblade, the funny dummies, the plebs, and
There's
then and then those little army men. That's what it was. That's what the army men, the game. I don't know why I was struggling on that. And then the fearless bouncy balls. But check that out: jets, tanks, all sorts of
oh
planes.
no, AC-130 inbound.
Yeah, the aliens that were kicking my butt.
Oh no.
Yeah, so look at that. I mean, that stuff looks like it would scare the hell out of me. So this game just all around for what it was, I thought was really cool, really intriguing. And if you don't trust my playthrough, go play it for yourself. The game fundamentally seemed really smooth. The mechanics seemed really smooth. And it was enough to keep me intrigued that I was able to double jump, build. There's so many aspects to this game that I think can really draw somebody in that's interested in those sort of shooter builder style games. And the fact that they were able to incorporate something besides what you typically see out there, kind of add that nostalgic, what I used to play on the PS1, what some other people might have played as well. So I thought that they really hit home, and if I get enough friends that are interested, I think I'd definitely be down to kind of dive even more into that game, because for $20,
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
no. But there it is, guys. Go check it out. I hope you enjoyed seeing that portion as much as I enjoyed playing it. So, but yeah, what have you been up to lately? You been checking out anything new, or?
Yeah, so I saw IGN kind of bashing on this Dungeons and Dragons game, and I don't know, I just didn't really believe him honestly, because when I was watching the gameplay, it looked fun. It just looked a little buggy. So I ended up getting it on the Game Pass, and man, I've been having fun with it.
Really?
Yeah,
It's one of those things you got to kind of test it for yourself, right?
yeah, and that's kind of where I'm getting at with games anymore. I mean, everyone wants to be a critic, but no one, actually just wants to get out and try it for themselves.
I think that personally, I think the D&D game model has failed pretty often, and that's what leaves people pretty reluctant to dive into them anytime
Yeah.
something comes out. But you enjoyed it?
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still playing it. Actually, right before this whole deal, I was playing
Do you
it.
do you feel like there may be a point in which you might run out of content, or does it seem like in this game they're trying to stay updated and trying to bring in content?
Well, so it's a brand new game, so I honestly don't know where their timeline is on it, but they have what, maybe 5 or 6 campaigns on there to play. And I mean, they roughly on your skill level, and if you have a full party and, playing on easy to hard, I mean, it takes us about an hour apiece to beat like part 1 of 3 in each one.
Yeah.
So, but no, man, it's pretty cool. You got 4 classes. You got a tank, a ranger, you got a dual blade, and a warhammer. And I play as a warhammer guy, man. He just throws it down.
So is it something that kind of plays through like a D&D game, or is it more set to just basically kind of role playing? Like, are you rolling dice? Or are you just kind of dungeon crawling?
You're
But
dungeon crawling.
with that kind of concept of just different kind of characters.
Yeah,
And
well, so they have like 4 set characters, and it's based off of a campaign that's already made by Dungeons and Dragons.
oh, very cool. Very cool.
So it's pretty cool, and it sticks to it really well, actually. You don't really do any rolling, so it's kind of just in the sense of you play these levels, you get better gear, better weapons, and as you're playing through, you're leveling up, and then which you can bring up your character sheet and you can upgrade like stats. Like
Yeah,
I tend to focus on strength, honestly.
right. You're always a tank.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of went with the DPS character on this one.
Really? That's out of
Yeah,
character.
yeah, it really is. But no, the tank is pretty funny because the tank is just like a little dwarf.
So what kind of yeah, right? The irony in it, but
Yeah.
it does seem like if you ever play a lot of those style games, your dwarves typically do kind of play that role. Now, is what kind of weapon are you using?
So I'm using the Warhammer. It's just a two-handed, huge ass hammer.
Is there any secondary weapons that come with that? Or are
No,
you allowed to ever change your weapon, or are you kind of stuck with that?
you're stuck with it.
Okay.
So, but you
Now,
can switch it out. I mean, you can't switch out to other styles of weapons, but like I started with the plain Jane hammer, but now I have a hammer that shoots lava at dudes.
oh snap. So is there spell casting and magic in the game?
Yes, but none of the characters are actually magic characters that you play as.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough.
So is it more of like a I guess like a spell or a card you can kind of play during a given time frame?
Well, so we haven't ran into any. I mean, we've ran into enemies that cast
Mhm.
magic and stuff, but
It's
we
just more
ourselves,
combat based.
yeah, it's
Okay.
health and stamina. That's the only bars I have.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
But
cool. So, but you're enjoying the game. And now, how far into it have you gotten so far?
I'm on the second campaign, and I'm just about to start the third part of it, which I think is pretty typical to have a campaign that has three parts, intro, middle, and outro. And man, it honestly, it's hard. Like when you're level 0 with no stats, I went in there after hearing everything that everyone else said. I played it on hard. I
you, you had to test yourself.
Yeah, well, I didn't make it past the first fight.
Oh no.
But no, it's one of those games, man, that it's like it's really buggy to be honest. But the cutscenes are super cool if you're into that kind of lore base.
Yeah.
And then playing with a group of friends, I mean, and that always helps, but it definitely makes it super exciting.
Yeah, those games that really rely on teamwork are just so much more fun when you can get a crew that you're so used to playing with, because it's so weird how it kind of transfers over. You'll play Call of Duty and everybody's like all on the same point. They know what everybody's going to do. And then you play a dungeon crawling type of game and somehow everybody that knows exactly what everybody, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that camaraderie, that just knowing what the other person's gonna do, that intuition that everybody has, that like, yeah, no, I know Jeremy's about to just run in here and warhammer the shit out this dude. And then you're like, oh god, I'm on my last leg, you're limping, and then Leroy drinking, here comes.
Yeah,
So
man. I don't know. Those games, I've never gotten into a Dungeon Dragons video game before. That was my first one.
yeah.
What they're saying in the interviews are correct, but I'm having a lot of fun with
So
it.
you're definitely running into issues where it's buggy. You're running into issues where there's just a little bit of clunkiness with it, but you're still finding ways to fight through
Yeah, I
and
mean,
enjoy the game.
yeah, none of them are game breaking. It's just kind of like if you're going in on someone, you got an 80 hit combo going, they might lag behind you or something, and then you lose the combo. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that can be frustrating, right? But what does this run then? Is it kind of fairly expensive? Is it a cheaper game?
Honestly, I don't know. I got it on Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, okay. So if you
So
got Xbox Game Pass, I mean, you're interested in these sort of games, why not check it out? You see,
100%.
yeah, so I think that the Game Pass is really, I mean, it's really doing good this year. I feel like a lot of the games that are getting put on it are great games, and they're just full swinging this year with continuing to put new releases out on that thing and provide great content. I just hope that PlayStation in a lot of ways can do the same thing with theirs,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
That's one of those things only time will tell, you know. But
Yeah.
dude, I already know they already came out and said that the new Elder Scrolls coming out will be day one on Game Pass. Back for Blood will be day one on Game Pass. Halo Infinite, or is it Infinite? The brand new Halo coming out? That'll also be day one on Game Pass. I mean, that's insane to me. Like, you don't even have to spend $60 on video games anymore.
Yeah, well, and with the next gen consoles, I've heard that they're upping the prices for those too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's how it goes, right?
Yeah,
But in a lot
sadly.
of ways, I mean, the consoles aren't that expensive. $500, yes, it's a good chunk of money, but I mean, it kind of is stayed stagnant with the way that the PS4s and the Xbox, whenever they all released their last gen, it was around that price too, and so we all expected crazy numbers. Now, granted, you can't get a hold of the damn things because you still got scalpers. I mean, I that's a whole nother discussion. I've been so tired of that, and even if you want to get the new graphics card, it's just
Yeah.
pain in the butt.
Yeah, and that's honestly where I'm at on my PC is I'm just stuck on the graphics card, man. I need to upgrade, but you can't get a decent one anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the PlayStation topic, they did have their state of play. Some people weren't really excited. They've already seen enough of what this particular game, what they needed to see. I hadn't really paid much attention to it, so I went ahead and checked out their state of the play, and it was primarily focused around the game Deathloop. If you haven't checked out the game Deathloop, I would really encourage you guys to go check it out. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought that it looked really intriguing. It felt to me like it had the graphics and appeal like a game like Dead Island might have, or I've even seen some people compare it to BioShock. I don't think the graphics are right there with BioShock, but I could see how some of the movement maybe with it. Eh, But basically, this game is you're stuck in this loop, and every time you die, you start over. And there's a set number of bosses, and you're trying to kill all those bosses before I think the day ends or something like that. And you got like really cool ways you can kind of move around, kind of like it's kind of like a teleport. You can kind of throw people up, throw them off, like teleport to them, kick them. A lot of really cool stuff, and you learn every time you go through a life phase. Okay, I know that this boss is going to be given a speech, and so it really becomes like a detective kind of game in that same sense, because you kind of get all your information as time goes, and then you try to kind of square everything up so that whenever you're ready for like a good push, okay, boom, this guy's gonna be here, boom, this guy's gonna be here. But you got to be careful because they can try to trick you too. And so I would just encourage anybody to kind of go check that game out and watch it for yourself. I don't want to butcher too much of it, but as somebody that just enjoys seeing new games and seeing new stuff that's coming out, I think that it is worth going and checking out. It is going to be a PlayStation exclusive, but it's a limited time exclusive. So on September 14th, I believe it will be releasing on other consoles or platforms, PC as well. And so, but initial release will be PlayStation. I think it has a lot of potential. I know that you said that it didn't really feel like something that you might be into, but
I mean, it looks like an excellent game, honestly.
mm-hmm.
But for the same reason, I just don't even play the Hitman games. I don't enjoy the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the same sense, listening back to it, it's like, well, that's a pretty cool idea, like because you're just learning everyone's movement. So, like you said, you can make that big push.
Yeah. Well, and I like that it's kind of like it can be stealthy in a way if you want to really try to remain stealthy. But the cool part is the crazy kills you can get. I mean, they do not hold back. It's cartoonish looking, but I saw the dude split this guy's head in half. I'm like, oh
Oh
my
god.
god. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff. So definitely something worth going and looking at. I'm hoping though, with some of these state of the plays, PlayStation's, you got to step your game up, man. You got to start sending us some of the games that we want because
Ragnarok.
yes. So, well, you bring up a great point because Call of Duty, God of War Ragnarok. Um, oh, help me out here. I don't know why I'm blank. Battlefield. A lot of these games that people want to hear more on, they are like, well, it'll be coming out in due time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that really mean? And so we're just kind of left waiting. Excuse me. Horizon. That's the game I was thinking of. I couldn't think of the other PlayStation exclusive. A lot of people want to hear more on it.
That'll be Xbox actually.
That for what?
Or are you talking about Horizon Zero Dawn or Forza Horizon?
Oh no, Horizon Forbidden West. The
Oh,
this yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that and then God of War. We want more. Give us more. Those are our games. Now, granted, we haven't seen anything on God of War, but we've seen at least some gameplay footage of Horizon. God, that game looks beautiful yet
It does.
again. And so, a couple other things that we can kind of bounce around and talk about. If you guys like watching stuff, yeah, got some stuff you guys can watch. So, if you guys watched Witcher season 1, they did announce season 2 is going to be dropping December 17th. It's a little bit sad that I have to wait all the way till the end of this year. But God, I really loved season 1 of Witcher. And anytime that you can take a video game and do as good of a job with it as they did with that, I'm always down for it. So be looking out for that, guys. Also, HBO has announced that Last of Us season 1 will have up to 10 episodes. Actually, they said that it will have 10 episodes. So, briefly, how are you feeling about this? Because I'm excited because if I think about a game, there's a few games I have in mind that I think could make great shows as a TV series. Last of Us is definitely one of them. It just has everything that you could need in terms of being a show. I don't want it to be Walking Dead-ish.
Right. That is the
That's
kind of scary thing.
yeah, that's my biggest fear. And I feel like it'd be very easy for them to fuck around and do that. But
Yeah.
another game that I think could make it as a really good TV show would probably have to be like a Uncharted. I think could be another TV series that I would be interested in watching.
See, I would love an Uncharted TV series. They could literally go any direction with that,
Anywhere you
honestly.
could just make up your own story, but as long as you got the main character, there's so many cool things. You know what, dude? Do you actually remember PlayStation Home?
Yes, you're talking about like the Avatar where you just go in place to place
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
hit
go
on
off.
random chicks.
I wasn't gonna go into that part, but when that did come out, we were in high school, and yeah, it was like getting all the crew to get on PlayStation Home and run around, and you could go play chess with people. But they had like that was such a weird time, right? Whenever they started coming out with stuff like that, when you think about the way that gaming has went now, people don't want to sit around in like a lobby and like really walk around. It felt like Club Penguin, but you know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
had like areas you could go and get like cool outfits and that were themed. And I
Yeah.
remember, I just this is totally off topic. I just remember it because I remember there was like an Uncharted area, and it was just like that's kind of what got me intrigued in the game, even though like because I got into the Uncharted series so late. But yeah, I feel like Uncharted would definitely be another one of those games that could make it as a good TV series.
Yeah.
Uh, I talked about this with our last episode with a guest of ours, but he has been doing a Skyrim playthrough, and I'm gonna be honest. Well, there was another guest that we had on as well, Costi Cobra, and he brought it up. I feel like Skyrim would be a pretty dope concept for a show, but I feel like they would butcher it. I don't know. I feel like it'd be. Is it? Can
Damn,
you
that's something to think about.
or just Elder Scrolls in general? We kind of had talked about that. I guess last episode I didn't really talk about
Yeah.
it being a show, but we had just talked about Skyrim, and it got me thinking again that maybe that. Can you think of any games that would make good TV series? It's got to be one of those things where it's so easy to like go any direction you want, kind of like Borderlands is doing
Yeah.
is doing a movie. I think that's a perfect game to be a movie, but it seems like that we're kind of transitioning into that time where all these games are kind of being turned into TV shows or movies, but you got to do it the right way because it's really easy to tick off that community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think the Borderlands one will succeed, to be honest.
It's crazy
It's
because they got so many big names too.
really.
Yeah,
I
so
haven't
Kevin
heard
Hart's in
anything
it.
on that. Oh, see, that's it. It's done. It's ruined right there.
You don't like Kevin Hart?
No, it's not even that. It's just when you try to focus on something so bad, you end up killing the whole spirit.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
whole reason Borderlands 3 didn't do as good as Borderlands 2. Because they were like, oh, comedy is our thing now.
yeah. Okay. Well, I see where you're going with that then. And Jack Black is in it. He is actually going to be playing as God, I forgot his name, the robot. And then
Claptrap.
yeah, Claptrap. And then who else? Oh, Bobby Lee is in it. So I guess now that you're saying that, there's a lot of like comedy
Yeah,
type actors in it, but we'll see where it
definitely give
goes.
it a watch for sure.
Yeah. But you got any ideas for any games that you would probably want to see?
Honestly, A Way Out would have been a really good TV show.
A Way Out? Oh yeah,
The
I see what you're saying.
prisoners.
Yeah. Well, Prison Break.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I guess that's fair. Well, I mean, we're saying Last of Us is doing it. We have The Walking Dead already.
That's true. Bro, Horizon Zero Dawn could be a freaking show, and I would watch the hell out of it. But I
Yeah,
have
that.
a feeling a show like that would be way too CGI heavy.
I mean, The 100.
That's true.
I
But
mean,
I'm actually pretty behind on that. So I watched like the first season or two, but I know that they.
oh, oh, dude,
So you probably just ruined that for me and the rest of the viewers. So thanks.
no, no, nothing like robot dinosaurs. I promise. No, but definitely watch The 100 though. It's a good show.
Yeah.
But man, honestly, I don't know if I want any more TV shows of my favorite games. Because in a way, if they just do it so wrong, that'll kill the series.
Yeah. Because you know a game I think that they could turn into a series and then it would be so bad.
What's that?
God of War. And they've already tried
Yeah,
saying that they don't want to do that. But Netflix is actually trying to work with some of these developers and some of these companies to really do that, like make more gaming related shows.
I could see an animated series. They could do a good job, but
Yeah.
not live action.
Yeah. There's just that bridge that just don't cross it. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah,
leave it at what it is. It's a game.
yeah. I mean, we've already been through this before, when they tried to make like the Legend of Zelda TV show and then Super Mario TV show, and so cringy.
Yeah, you're not lying. Well, I don't know if you saw or not, but speaking on Battlefield announcements, they actually made one, and there are confirmed maps and modes for Battlefield 2042. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop those up for you guys, and we can check out some of these maps and modes. And, you know, from what we've seen, a lot of us have already kind of checked out the trailers, both the cinematic trailer and then the live action, or not live action, multiplayer trailer. So we know what we're going to be expecting, but didn't really know exactly at what extent these maps and stuff are going to be looking like. Well, they are heavily dedicated to this 128 player lobby. Holy shit. That is just, man, I'm excited. I'm also worried, but
They'll do good with it. I mean, they've had a very, very big time with it.
yeah. Well, so I kind of checked out mpfirst.com had this post here, and they had posted these little pictures of what the confirmed maps are. And so let's go through them here. Tell me what you're thinking about them, if you're excited. The first one is Orbital. It's a race against time and hostile conditions as you fight around the site of an imminent rocket launch. Watch out for both enemy fire and upcoming storms on this dynamic map. This one's exciting. I saw it in the trailer. I think what I'm most excited about here is this little area here. I don't know if you can see my cursor.
Yeah.
But I think that was the area. It's almost like docks. Is kind of what it looks like. I know it's like a launch pad, but I think that's where you saw those little containers. You know, those little connexes.
Yeah, where they were crawling through and got ambushed.
Yeah, so this could be a cool map. I think that it's got a lot of the buildings and stuff like that could really make it for a lot of places to hide, places to kind of roll through with the squad. But this is what intrigues me, is these trees, and knowing that it's going to be a big map. What how much of it's going to be forest and stuff like that. That could be pretty interesting as well. Moving on down, we have Hourglass, everybody's probably most anticipated map. It's the one that they probably focused the most on, where they introduced a lot of new gadgets. You saw the ATV fly off the building. You saw, you know, all the craziness going down in the trailers. Fighting a city lost to the desertification around it. Massive dust and sandstorms are constantly rolling in, blotting out the natural light as you battle for control of a convoy tapped in the shifting sands. This is one that, you know, reminds me a lot of Battlefield 1 for one. But two, it's just crazy. It's all these massive skyscrapers in this barren desert. And so you're probably going to see that sandstorm rolling in through here and affecting, you know, kind of how you rotate and go through this map. So this one looks like 128 players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and so
that one looks like 128 players.
Yeah, it does. Kaleidoscope. This is our third map. It is in a state of art metropolis in South Korea. Zipline between skyscrapers and fight among the plazas surrounding the city's iconic data center. And this one is just, it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of, you know, maybe was this where they shot maybe this is where they shot the ATV off. Maybe I'm remembering.
Yeah, this is probably the tornado one. That Hourglass is when that VTOL swung around and that little helicopter got the other two to run into each other.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, but this one just looks like now I will say this one does look like sniper heaven, and I
Yes.
don't know how I feel about that, but it's got potential. I like the water that you got that might add some aspect to the game. Manifest. What are we really seeing here? This looks like it might be a smaller version of something else. Again, you got the docks and stuff. But it says, watch out for tropical tornadoes and navigate through a maze like cargo containers in this key trade location vital to American supply lines. Pretty cool.
I bet that's where that shipping
Yeah,
container
I think
scene
that
was
is
shot.
right. We're just butchering all this shit, But anyways, we're I haven't really looked. I wanted to kind of experience this with you, so that's where I'm going
Yeah.
to take my own fault of not looking at it more. But anyways, okay, we got discarded. This is another one that really intrigued me. You got, it says Alang, India. Along a strategic section of India's west coast, colossal ships stranded on the beach are being stripped for parts. Fight among the hulls of these behemoths while adapting to deadly storms. This looks awesome. Why does it look awesome? Because I just feel like there's so many layers to these maps that are going to make moving through it really cool.
Hmm.
For starters, I like the huge ships. I think that the huge ships are going to add a way to kind of have that sniper advantage for one, but for two, if you look kind of off in that distance, kind of over here, you're going to tell that there's going to be quite a bit of them that you're going to be able to kind of roll around. I bet you this is going to be probably tank heavy, but cool nonetheless. I like these little cranes that they got going on here. Everybody's fan favorite breakaway. I say fan favorite, but I mean we all seen the tank that just was flying across the ice.
Pretty
Tread
nice.
carefully on this dynamic map where oil extraction has tuned the freezing area to a strategic hotspot. Excuse me. Take advantage of destructible fuel tanks and silos that create debris fields and permanent fires when destroyed. Very cool. Big mountain. Renewal, a giant wall built to secure rich man-made agricultural areas, takes center stage on this intense map. Prepare for the extreme conditions, deploy and secure access points and massive gates in the wall. This is that huge wall that they ran. You probably saw that where people are trying to get in and then, all hell
Yeah.
breaks loose. So this is cool. I like that it's desert on one side, grass on the other, plains. And that's Renewal in Eastern Desert, Egypt. So those are the maps. You guys excited? Not excited? Let us know. Love to hear what you guys think about the Battlefield maps that have been released. I don't think this is really anything new that, you know what I mean? Like in terms of, we know the names of them, but we saw all this happen in the cinematic trailers. So
Yeah.
the game modes that are going to be confirmed are Conquest, Breakthrough, and Hazard Zone. Hazard Zone is what everybody wants to know about. It is what they've been working on for quite a while, and it is going to be the game mode that is going to be their main focal point. An all-new high-stakes squad-based game type for Battlefield franchise. This is a modern take on the multiplayer experience that is distinctly DICE, but very different from all-out warfare, conquest, and breakthrough modes. I know that from what the interviews have said that this is going to be something that's going to be squad-based. It's going to be heavy on that. What I'm sad about is I don't see Rush on here, and Rush is one of my favorite game modes. It is what me and the squad always did. And so that has me a little worried. But
But it's just the confirmed game modes. They might still throw it in there.
yeah.
I really hope so.
Yeah, me too. You just never know. But it's been such a staple for so long. I find it really hard for them to just go away from it. But we'll see. Conquest is one that everybody knows by now. It's their most iconic. It's just those all-out massive 128 player now lobbies. And then Breakthrough, the return of Breakthrough sees two teams attack and defense, and you battle over large scale sectors. So this is like a tug of war game mode. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's basically like you have these sectors along the map, and you're constantly just trying to capture the flags and push the team back, push them back, push them back until you finally get to the final breaking point. And so that is what Battlefield's bringing to us. So I'm excited for Battlefield more than any other game this year. So it's just my favorite game out of any franchise for shooters. So I even choose it over Call of Duty. So I will make sure I'll be keeping you guys updated on anything Battlefield news that comes out. But how are you feeling about some of that stuff that Battlefield's dropping? Are you excited? You like the maps? You like the game modes? I mean, aside from us having a little bit of worry over Rush, but
Yeah, I'm excited for all these maps, although I am kind of worried about the general curse whenever you have these massive multiplayer maps. What happens when you die constantly or you're not that good, you're new to a series, so you spawn in, run for 10 minutes in a single direction because all the vehicles are gone, and then you're dead again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Hopefully, I mean, with Conquest, though, I guess you can click on the map and it'll take you closer. Just hopefully, they find a good balance of getting rid of that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think that they're probably, this is just a guess. I'm hoping that they still make the smaller versions of those maps that'll still be 64 player or maybe 32. And I almost feel like that's how they're gonna kind of have these. You got one big map, and then like maybe that one big map can turn into like 3 smaller maps.
Yeah.
So, depending upon where you're kind of going or what game mode you're playing, it might kind of play through different. We've seen that a lot on Battlefield, and so that's what I'm kind of expecting.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing either, because they're just reusing, people's favorite chunks of the map. Because you already know as well as I do, in Battlefield, for the first week, it's all hell breaks loose. You can die from any angle. But as soon as someone finds a sweet spot, everyone's going to be fighting for that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
And especially how fast TikTok puts out information anymore, it's probably going to be second day in. People are going to know where to go.
Speaking of TikTok information, I was on TikTok not that long ago, and this guy was like, listen, everyone, this is the tower you need to stay away from. You go to this tower, and this is exactly what people do. And then he proceeds to show you exactly how to glitch into the tower to like everyone else. And I'm like, okay, dude, you have, you know what? You have made such a big mistake, because now all everyone's gonna do is be like, oh shit, that's how you do that. I wish I
Yeah,
would have known. Now I
it was
do.
on purpose to get views.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, check out this guy. He shows you how to do it.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, speaking of some funny Call of Duty moments, I had a dub today. I was playing with a couple of friends of mine, and I was playing with a buddy of mine, recent guest Tyler Hero T, and we were just kind of playing around on some Rebirth, and we paired up with some randoms. And dude, we got down to like this final moment, and I kind of had a decent little game going, and I had this hilarious death comm. And who knows, maybe we try to make this more common. I did release a statement on TikTok. Listen, I want to make a montage. I'm really dedicated to wanting to help support and promote local or just small channel streamers all over. I mean, if you're a big streamer too, it's not like I'm opposed, I'm not opposed to having you on either. But I really like having these conversations with you guys, because it really helps me learn more about the community and really helps me learn more about just your journeys. And so if you all ever want to send in some gaming footage and you want us to make a montage, I'm talking Rocket League, I'm talking Call of Duty, I'm talking Battlefield, any game, Rainbow Six, that you, whatever, maybe it's a funny moment in a game that you played, send it in, dubcastgaming@gmail.com, DM me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Dubcast Gaming, on pretty much all those. And let's try to get some of that stuff. Let's try to have those little cool moments where we can showcase some of those things. So little side note there. But if you also want to get in touch with us and be on the show, do the same thing. Just reach out, guys. But that was my little
The sales speech.
my little sales speech. But let's hop over here and show you guys this funny clip from today. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you volume on this one, unlike I did for my other one.
Objectives updated. Move to the next location.
Oh, sheer panic.
Yeah, the panic shoot. Bloodthirsty though. Team
There
white.
you go.
I'm only at 4 kills. I'm not as good as most, but look at the amount of people all over.
Rebirth gets crazy there at the end, man. Nice slide under the trailer.
Down a guy there. I seen the dude off to my left, but I just kind of wanted to play it off like I didn't. I'm kind of freaking out here because I know it's pushing.
More targets remaining. Good work.
Ooh, fresh bait. Nice.
Yes, of course someone else got him. I didn't get the credit for that one. Sitting at 6 kills now. Maybe I did get the credit for him actually. And so at this point it's 2v2, or no, 4 people total, 3 teams. This guy's chilling down here. I'm like, hello.
You were about to get an execution, weren't you?
I was, and then he started moving. I'm like, no. So at this point there's only one other guy. He knocks my buddy down. I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
Ooh, just beamed him. Just beamed him. He even had the higher ground, bro.
Yeah, the crazy part is he's like, no fucking way. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what in your head made you think that was just impossible? Because
Yeah.
you peeked over, I shot at you, you were like, oh shit, you backed up, and then you peeked over again, I killed you. How are you surprised? So, if you're out there, man, I'm sorry. I had it coming.
Yeah, it's just a fan, just hella mad.
So it's nothing crazy, but that was a little dub clutch that I was able to snag today that I was a little bit
Yeah,
happy about.
and that's a good example, you know, guys. If you send in your videos, we will showcase it. You will.
Yeah,
get
I'd
the
love to do
credit.
montages. Matter of fact, this is my heartbreak moment. I shouldn't even tell you guys this because you're gonna be like, "Oh no, you're bullshitting." But I actually did try to save this video that I had, and I got a full squad wipe. So I was at Command Center, I think that's the name of it, and all these dudes were lumped up on the little connector bridge that goes between the 2 buildings, and they were all lumped up at the door. And I like peeked, and my eyes lit up. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like looking through my scope, and I just see them all standing just in this just pile, and I sprayed them. I dropped 3 of them. The other dude was like freaking out on the door. I switched, dropped him, and so I'm going through. I'm freaking out. I'm like reloading, and we kind of move forward a little bit. Well, PlayStation, when you make a save, it does like 15-minute save of like a video clip, and so I like hurry up. I try to save it like 2 or 3 minutes after the encounter. I'm like, oh yeah, I can save. So I try to save it. So the next day I go back because I was going to make a clip to show you guys on here. The only part, the entire games of that PlayStation clipped for me was like a little 13-second video of me dying. And I'm like, are you serious? Okay, thanks. So I didn't have any of that to show you, so I had to get on and clutch it up. Matter of fact, we had 2 today. So like I said, I'm not that great. Don't make fun of me, but I was happy. That was one of them, and that was by virtue of moi. Okay, I was able to clutch it up for my squad.
Putting in the work. I mean, you were popping off there at the end. You were just transitioning from person to person.
Yeah, I was trying to hold it down, but it was one of those in the right place at the right time when the smoke was or gas was rotating. So
Yeah, you should have gotten execution, man. That would have been insult to injury.
I know, and my executions are pretty sick. I like the one that I have selected. It makes me feel good whenever I can get one of those.
Yeah.
But man, I think we've had a good conversation, and I think that you guys, like I said, you guys need to send in some of your videos and let's get those things showcased. I want to give a shout out to Native Santa, who is a guest on our show. He has officially reached 100 followers and has on Twitch, and has just proven that with a lot of dedication and sticking to the grind that, you know, he's hitting his goals out there, and he's been staying committed. So you guys need to go check him out on Twitch, Native Santa X, and he's been doing tournaments every Saturday. He's very consistent with them. But big shout out to that dude. He's really helped support us, and you know, he's always trying to share what we got going on, and we appreciate it. And you know, congratulations on reaching 100. You know, here's the 200.
There you go.
So I always love to see guys or gals that come on the show that, you know, keep grinding and keep growing their channel. That's all we want to see. So, but look, guys, Jeremy, if you got anything else, anything that you've been playing or
No, I think I already dumped out all my feelings, man.
well, listen, you guys can support us by going on to anchor.fm/Dubkast, and you can go on there and give us your life savings. No, I'm just kidding. No, but there's an option to donate on there if you guys want to give to the cause. It really helps in supporting us. You guys can head on over to, like I said, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are on it all. At Dubcast Gaming for all of those, or /Dubcast Gaming rather. And like, follow, subscribe. It helps us keep up with you guys and try to maintain that form of communication through social media as well. But I appreciate it. We've really loved all the support everybody's been giving us, and we can't wait to continue to release episodes for you guys. I'm excited that we've been able to knock out 10 episodes so far, and I look forward to the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, whatever it may be. You know, we're going to keep chugging along, so we're glad that you guys keep chugging along with us. But with that being said, we hope that no matter where you are or what you're playing, we can get you one step closer to clutching that dub. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you later.
Later.